Bishop Eddie Long told his congregation today that he will fight the allegations of sexual misconduct made against him by 4 young men. Now, he's got some high-powered attorneys on his side, including former Assistant U.S. Attorney Craig Gillen. Let's discuss the legal case with our panel now, the merits of this case. Columbia University professor Marc Lamont Hill, TV host of Our World with Black Enterprise. He joins us from Philadelphia. And with us from the phone now, from Westchester County, New York, former federal prosecutor Sonny Hostin, now a legal contributor on our sister channel, True TV. Sonny, listen, I want you to listen to what B.J. Bernstein about some of the evidence in this case, and we'll talk about the merits. Let's take a listen.
I have the bishop's private email addresses, more than one. He would text them. He would write them. Now, we're not saying they're pornographic material, but this bishop, why? This man who's so powerful, who's supposed to be busy ministering to his flock, has time to email them back and forth over and over throughout the day. Send me a picture of you at school, not naked or not anywhere, but wherever it is. Just send me a picture of you.
Okay, so Sonny, emails, phone calls, or what have you, does this necessarily prove the case here?
Well, that in and of itself would not prove the case, but, you know, I've reviewed the complaints, and they are fairly significant. I mean, because everyone knows there is a legal responsibility not to compromise your position of trust, to overcome a minor's will. And in this case, that is what they're saying. They're saying that Bishop Long used his position as the pastor of this mega church to overcome their will. And if it passes the initial judge's review, it could go to trial. And so I would say these are serious allegations. These are very serious allegations, and I think they pass the legal standard here.
Okay, so we're not talking about jail time. This is really about reputation and money.
That's right. There's civil cases, civil complaints that have been filed, and a lot of these cases, Don, usually do end up in a financial settlement because it's embarrassing to the person who's, who the case has been brought against. So oftentimes they do end in financial settlement.
Okay.
One thing I'm slightly concerned about for him is the possibility of criminal charges.
All right. So listen, I want to Marc Lamont Hill. Marc, you worked with B.J. Bernstein on the Gennaro Wilson case. Craig Gillen, as we said, is a former U.S. attorney. And then also Dwight Thomas. These aren't civil attorneys. These are criminal attorneys.
Absolutely. Obviously, Dwight worked on the case before B.J. did. And in fact, B.J. in some ways undid some of the work that was already done. But, yeah, no, these are criminal attorneys, and I think that, and we saw this from his words earlier in the church, I think he's going to mount an extremely aggressive strategy. The one thing we did not hear from Eddie Long this morning was, I did not do it. And so I think one of the things you might see is an extremely aggressive strategy that turns the mirror on the victims as opposed to on himself. I think it'll be very interesting to see how things play out. But I think B.J. Bernstein has also mounted a very interesting strategy. When you look at the complaint itself, she's also sort of preparing a strategy that I think will help potential jurors lean on her side.
What do you mean by that? Can you explain real quick?
I'll give you an example. If you look at the complaint, one of the things in the complaint, in addition to like failure to intervene and failure to supervise, she talks about how these boys were ordinary straight boys who tried to have girlfriends and Eddie Long wouldn't let them. So for a jury pool, they see these ordinary, straight 16-year-old boys who are being preyed upon by a gay minister. That's going to be the way this is going to be spun, as opposed to them being, for example, gay church members who had some inappropriate relationship above the age of consent. So even though it's above the age of consent, even there are all these other issues that may not be legally germane in the court of public opinion and in the actual jury pool. I think they're gonna have Eddie Long's people are gonna have some problems.
Marc Lamont Hill and Sonny Hostin. That's all we have time for. Sonny Hostin's from In Session, our sister network, True TV. Thanks to both of you.